Hello everyone, Somber here. This is part 4 of my AI War 2 campaign, Introductory campaign. Let's go back to where we were, but before we do, you will notice that the version number has been updated as of May 5th. It's now version 507, I think it was 505 the last time we talked, and lots of bug fixes. This is one of the things that Arkan, the developers of this game, are really great at, is they do lots of bug fixes and they'll do kind of balance tweaks and things in the new versions. There's nothing that important for the campaign that I was doing, so let's just crack on. But you know, you can always go and look at the patch notes and everything. It's just nice to know that they're actively still doing this, even though the final version of the game basically is released. They're still doing bug fixes and the like. So let's load this up.
Construction facilities nearly depleted.
Now I finished off the previous video having gotten stuck into a horrible fight on Minster, which took up way too much of our time. And my economy was pretty busted up for the entire time, so I want to make sure that I've got my economy in a better place before I go getting myself stuck, and I also want to try and avoid getting stuck. The other thing that I wanted to mention was the ship that I claimed, which was the Starfish cruiser, which we were, I was excited about at least. I hope people watching were kind of excited about it. I thought it might be bugged out, but I actually I went and asked the developers about this and asked the community about this, and then did some tests myself, and it turns out that I just needed to wait for it to take more damage. It creates the limbs as it takes damage rather than as it deals damage, and I had seen it take some damage and wasn't making any limbs, but it has to take, I think it's 20% or more to build a limb. But because it's a vampire, it can constantly take damage, create limbs, and then chomp on things and drain its life back as well. So I'm just going to unpause. So this Starfish Cruiser is actually really good. I'm going to send it off on its own just to demonstrate. I'm going to send it to Cushenden that has an ion cannon, which is not really a threat. So it'll go by Harwich. There it is. And meanwhile, I'm just waiting for my economy to kind of reset. But we're gonna try out the Starfish Cruiser. So the way this works is it will go and melee things. It does a lot of damage. It really can hoover stuff up very nicely. And as it takes damage, it's going to make limbs. The limbs will also fight. And the limbs, when they damage things, will make copies of themselves. So I'm going to send this... Let's tell it to go and kill this Corrosive Guardian. Oh, no, some other stuff's come after it here. Some ablative Gatlings. So as they shoot it... Why is it deciding that it wants to go over here? That's interesting. Oh, because it wants to knock out the ion cannon, because the ion cannon is the more dangerous thing there. Okay, it just decided to do that, that's fine. So it's going to fly around, it's going to hoover up these stacks, it can kill entire stacks of them in a couple of jumps. And it's going to get shot up. Unless the AI hits it a lot harder than this though, it's not actually going to grow any limbs. So we want to go and activate some of the enemy. So I'm going to go and annoy them a bit. Get the enemy to come out of there and fly near the command station. So I'm just provoking a bunch of enemies here so they'll get shot up a bit more. And then I think that should be enough to give me some arms. We'll find out. As it takes damage, the build points will increase, and when the build points get high enough, it will make a tentacle, which we can see here. So I'll just move and then pause. So the tentacles, the viral arm ghoulas, they're getting spawned. They attrition themselves down, but they also repair health while they're fighting, and they build additional copies of themselves because they're von Neumanns. So we can watch them, they'll get stuck into attacking things, and as they chomp on things, they'll get more build points and they'll make more arms. They're nowhere near as tough as the Starfish itself, but they're still pretty good. So as the Starfish fights, you end up with a decent little fleet here. You can see the viral arms have come out. And the total strength here is now 47. I think it started off at 20. So you can see how quickly they take down a Mark V Guardian. Pretty nasty. So we can just leave them there, rampaging on this planet for a bit, I think. Oh, and the zombies have decided to come in as well. Nice. So we'll just leave them rampaging there. There's not really any reason for us to do that, but it's just to demonstrate them. We've got an enemy fleet coming to Limavady, where we've got perfectly capable defences. They shouldn't really have any problem with that. They're going to come from Saxondom. Yeah, I mean, look, they're going to run into plenty of our defences there, so I'm not really worried about that. We could send one of our fleets down there because we tend to be moving in this direction anyway, and reinforce 6 and do some more work over here. We should work out what our next objective is going to be. We've got a fair few hack points, so it'd be nice to go and hack something. I don't really want to hack things that are increasing the AIP. I want to go and hack some stuff that does not. We could go and do the Research Centre Paw Patrol. That's what we were trying to do earlier, and it went wrong because they have that very nasty orbital structure, the Matrix Fortress. But now that we have our cruiser, we might just be able to use the cruiser to beat that up, to be honest. See, he's flying around here and doing fairly well against these enemies. What other objectives do we have? We could go and hack over here, but none of these are really in our tech tree. Not stuff that we've already teched up. Here, Phantasmal Host Frigate, a little bit. What other things do we have? We've got an energy reactor we can pick up over there. This big mess in the centre, there must be some stuff in here that we want. So there are some coprocessors. There are 4 coprocessors in the galaxy. Every time you destroy one, AIP goes up by 20. But if you destroy all 4 of them, the AIP is reduced by 140, which is obviously a net gain of 60, which is pretty exciting, but it's usually quite hard to do them. If you look in the Intel tab, you can see under Critical Targets, Destroy Coprocessors, we have found all of them, but a couple of them are really far away. The one on Cheltenham, oh, it's not that far, but it's just very well defended. And there's one on Perth. Perth is a bit of a stretch. Getting over there would be difficult. We could destroy this coprocessor and on the way pass through these planets and try and go after that. They're not terribly hard to destroy individually. So maybe that is what we would like to do. That will give us a big... It will temporarily put our AIP up. The thing about that is that by pushing our AIP up temporarily, I mean, it's going to go up by 80. 80 is not enough that we will hit 235, which is where the AI gets a big mark increase, but we would want to be careful. So maybe that's our long-term goal at the moment, is knock out these coprocessors. Each one we knock out is going to make the game harder, so ideally we would start with the furthest away one and then work our way back in, because we know that we'll be able to get them, or if you can, do them all simultaneously. So where are they? Well, we've got one on Cushington. This is extremely easy to take. We're not worried about that at all. We've got one on Ifracombe. That's pretty easy. If we look in Ifracombe, we can travel in from Minster that we've already cleared. And the coprocessor is down here, so we can just send a stealthy ship across and knock that over. The difficult ones are Perth and over here on Cheltenham. The Cheltenham one is protected by 2 Brutal Guardian layers, which is very nasty. So we would have to be very quick in getting in there and taking that out. Let's have a quick look. Let's say that we'd cleared out Garstang, or we were headed through Garstang. Well, let's head through Mount Hill, actually, that's weaker. Head into St David's. How quickly could we get to the one in Cheltenham? We come in from St David's. Our target is there. So we just have to rush across and fight it. It's not great because we'd have to rush through all these blaster turrets and the like, so difficult. I think that's what we want to do next though. We've got a wave headed to Drumbo. You can see my economy has now recovered, so I can get on with prosecuting my new war. In Drumbo I think we want to have a couple of gravity generators to slow the enemy down. We've got a bit of spare energy, and I would like a little bit more in terms of defences here. I'm just going to throw some paralysis mines down in front of each of these. It's a shame there's so many different entrances they can come from, but that's life. We'll throw up an assault and a couple of watchmen. This will just help buff our defences a little bit.
Tactical advance to battle.
And I'm going to move my defences back there. They're pretty much all snipers, so I'm going to take them off free roam and just let them sit behind the turrets. And then I'm going to load up my forces over here, so that's 1 and 5. And we're going to move them down to Eglinton. And we will leave 4 doing its business. So the cruiser is part of 1, and it's going to be heading home. Where's the cruiser? There it is. So if I just have it meet up here, we can load them back onto the ship. There we go. And we'll have 1 move down to Eglinton. Interesting, straight to Pickering. See, we didn't really have the forces to stop them here, and so they have headed over to Pickering, where they're quite capable of causing us some trouble. I think we've won on Drumbo, so I'm going to send my forces through into Pickering, and then they will help defend Pickering. So we can get those snipers, they'll just pick off the ones at the back, I think, first. But yeah, that's not really a problem. I'm telling Fleets 1 and 5 to get over to Pickering. Fleet 4 and 3 will stay on the defence. And I'm going to work out an attack on this coprocessor. I'm just going to accept the 20 IOP from that, and then I'm going to focus on doing the 3 other coprocessors kind of as a quick chain reaction as fast as I can, really. Ooh, Drumbo's definitely got some more action. Sent 6 back to try and reinforce it. This is the Hunter fleet, so yeah, this is their aggressive. The AI's decided that I'm weak here, and they're pushing on to try and press their advantage. Unfortunately for them, you can see I had already sent my fleets here, 1 and 5, so we're going to be able to make a pretty good ambush of them, I think, and kill quite a few of their fleet. Do we want to push on into Fleetwood? Not really. I want to go to Mount Hill. So I'm going to load up my troops. I'm going to take 1 and 6 over into Mount Hill. And 5 will be coming soon, but it's a lot slower. Mr. Laser's much slower than these other, much slower than 1, and 6 is already here, so that's why that was particularly fast. So let's send 6 in since they're snipers, and we'll send 1 in as well. And they're probably just, yeah, they're going to bail out, right? Because
Watch this, fellas.
there's an overwhelming force here. But we'll pick this Force Field Guardian. These are actually really annoying Force Field Guardians. They can protect a lot of stuff against our attacks. Now, we're on a bit of a clock here because the lair in St. David's is already activated. But all we're trying to do, really, is push forward. Because we're going to travel through St. David's and go after this coprocessor in Cheltenham. So let's have a look. What's the trip like? Well, we're going from Mount Hill through to Cheltenham. So we're going straight through the middle. That's not that long a distance to travel, and that's probably fine. Do I have anything that can be stealth or is particularly fast? That's the question. Well, if I pause it, I've got Vicious Raid Frigates. Vicious Raid Frigates ignore shields when they fire, which is very good. And I think, do they have a cloak? Let's have a look. They do have a cloak. So we're going to use our Vicious Raid Frigates to try and do this without sending our main fleet in. So let's just give that a try. I'm going to put them on standby mode, which means they won't fire. And that way they won't disrupt their own cloak. And then in they go to St. David's. Can take them off V mode.
Major enemy force in our territory.
Am I allowed to do that? Yes, maybe. Not sure. So some of them have been picked up because of their... Right, I'm going to pause it here. So the enemy has some tachyon stuff that has managed to see them, and both layers are now trying to stack up. But we are within striking distance of this coprocessor, so let's have a look at the range on these turrets. Not very far. I'm going to tell them to go around the turrets, and they're going to fly over to this, and then they're going to whack it. And I'm going to take them off that mode as soon as they're in range to fire their weapons. Alright, we'll pause it. Tell them to attack. Take them off standby. There we go, coprocessor's gone. Now, their job is just to bail out. We don't want to be here anymore, we don't want to be provoking these dire Guardian layers. So their job is just to bail out. One is going to bail out to Pickering. Well, not bail out, but retreat, rather. And we're going to retreat away so that we don't set these layers off. And now we need to plan, as these things are all retreating, we need to plan where we're going to hit these. So this Coprocessor is easy. Fleet 4 can be in position to knock that one out whenever we want. So I might actually send Fleet 4 into Harwich to start clearing it up, ready to move into Cushenden. Our main force is now going to travel. We're going to bring them all the way back to our territory, and they're going to go from Minster over to Ilfracombe, and they're going to blow through Ilfracombe, and we need to get to Perth. What's in the way? Well, there's a couple of tough planets in the way, but that's okay. We're not going to blow these ones up until we get to Perth and are able to do that. Possibly a better path to Perth? Well, if you move too far away from planets that you've taken over, then you activate the AI like really responding to it. It's called a deep strike response, and they get a lot of stuff they can respond with, so you don't want to set that off. But to be honest, these two planets are pretty nasty, so I'd rather, if I could, move in here, Fleetwood, Ballantyne, Caerleon, and then fly through here. It does have an ion cannon, but we can move in and knock that out. And that is a weaker route to get to this Coprocessor. So I think I'm going to go from that, from Ballantyne. So, number 1, there. I'll move number 5 in just in case. Number 6, and I'll put the factory supporting them as well. There we go. So pretty much everything's moving over. It's in Mount Hill at the moment, getting ready to move into Fleetwood. AIP's gone up, but that's okay, we know that. Overall, we're going to end up with a decrease when we knock out all these Coprocessors. Fleet 4 is trying to do its mucky business over here, but they're not very strong. Yeah, they have very little strength. They're basically just some parasites, Fleet 4. So they're going to struggle a bit, but I'll just leave them there for now. It's fine. Drumbo. Is Drumbo nice and safe? Well, it doesn't have the best defences, Drumbo, does it? It's had some trouble before. I'm going to pay for a few more defences on Drumbo. Okay, I'm going to pause it here. Why? Oh, we're next to St David still, because we're in Mount Hill. We've got 11 seconds to get out of there. Whoops, I didn't realise I was doing that. Okay, here's what we're going to do then. I've paused it, I'm going to look into Fleetwood. So here they have a mass driver, which can absolutely smash a capital ship. It's very easy to destroy, but it can smash a capital ship really easily. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to take it. Normally, I would not be happy about this situation. But because I have so little time, I'm just going to move everything into Fleetwood, and I'm going to have everything go after that mass driver, and hopefully it won't do too much damage to me if I do that. So, I'm going to tell them to go into Fleetwood, and then I'm going to give an order to attack that. Am I allowed to do that? Seemingly not. Why is that not working? I guess I'm not allowed to tell them to move in and attack a specific target. I'm just going to send them all into Fleetwood. We'll pause it as they move in. 8 seconds. They've just got to get in there. Okay. Take the ships that are in there and tell them to just shoot that. Get that mass driver out of here before it kills my guys. So it just blew up a capital ship. I don't know which one it was, but something not great. So it just crippled the Nidorian Tortoid, fleet number 6. Did the layer go off? Yes. They weren't quick enough, and so the layer did go off. So a bit of a screw up there by me, honestly. I think I've permanently activated that layer now, and I've gotten a bunch of my stuff beaten up by this mass cannon. Combat factory just got crippled. I mean, these are not permanent losses, but this is foolish. I would normally send a raid in, a clever little raid of stuff that isn't the capital ships, to get that out of there. Oh, and one was not unloaded because I was moving the stuff through. What a mess. Alright, let's pause again for a second. So, Paw Patrol's moved in, and we've secured Fleetwood. That's not a concern at all. Drumbo has had the Tortoid and the Combat Factory set back to it, and it will now repair them. That's fine. 1 and 5 are on Fleetwood. I wouldn't mind having a bit more here. Alright, let's have a look in Drumbo. So enemy fleets coming to Drumbo, and are going straight for Pickering. Okay, they know what they're doing. I understand. Pickering is looking like the more vulnerable target to them, so they're going that direction. But I think we've got enough forces there. They're just going to retreat. Yep. Okay. Pausing it again. This is now permanently activated, so I think I'm going to have to go and deal with it at some point. If I just go and destroy it, AIP will progress. Sorry, AIP will rise by 15, which is bad. We would get 500 science and 15 hacking points for killing it. I'd rather not go and kill it, to be honest, but I don't want it to be doing this. It's going to go off every 1800 seconds, which is not ideal. I don't want that constantly going off and making it annoying. Does it make just Dire Guardians? A brutal Guardian, so worse than Dire Guardian. Nasty. And it's probably already made one, I think. I can't see one, but I think it's already made one. Because it's activated. We could go in there and hack that, I'm pretty sure. Let me just check the hack. If we went here, we'd get a sabotage enemy. No, it looks like that's not a possibility to sabotage that. After 300 seconds. So set off the 300 seconds one. Once it's spawned time for the first time, it will not stop as long as valid enemies are in the galaxy. Yeah, I'm afraid we're just going to have to deal with that at some point. This is a bit of an error. Well, we will live with our mistakes. Meanwhile, in Fleetwood, I'm going to load my guys up because we are headed to Ballantoy. I'm going to leave 6 back here to protect Pickering. So this is the Tortoid. There's lots of small weak enemies here, so the attrition's actually really good. You're going to watch some of these guys just explode. And the snipers are quite useful there. We've got an enemy counterattack on Fleetwood that's charging up. That's because they've got... Guard post is still up. Could you get rid of that guard post to get rid of this counterattack, please? Mr. Lasers, you can come off free roam. That should be the end of the counterattack. It's not because there is... Oh, here we go. There's another guard post. Alright, we've also got an instigator to deal with in Caerleon. Caerleon. Where is Caerleon? Over here. Okay, that's on our path, so that's fine. We can go and deal with that in a moment. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Get away from that. Come on, come on, come on. Border aggression from the aggressor. Yeah, okay. It got annoyed at me being nearby. That's fine. Okay, the counterattack's dealt with. I'm going to send Mr. Lasers into Ballantoy to start softening them up. And then I'll just send 1 and 2 straight in. We've got overwhelming force, we just get on with it. Sometimes the correct thing to do is just to chuck your forces in there. Some of them are going to escape, but I'm not. That's fine, I'm not worried about that. We have found a Dire Guardian, which is interesting. It's always nice to kill Dire Guardians who are just hanging around out there. Right, Eglinton. How vulnerable are you to this attack? Not very.
I'll get a crew over there right away.
We'll build a few more fleet defences. And I'm going to send Fleet 6 here. It'll take a while to get here, but that's just in case things go bad in Eglinton, basically. Right, this instigator is going to increase the Warden fleet budget, so their defensive forces will be increased. I don't like the sound of that, and so I'm going to go and deal with that as quick as I can. In we go. Where's the instigator? There it is. Go and remove that, please. So yeah, we should get rid of that instigator before that triggers. The economy's still looking good. Instigator's dealt with, and now we're taking this system as well. which is what we wanted to do. Left Fleetwood behind. Left Ballantoy behind and cleared. And our forces will now destroy everything here. Then we're in a position to attack Stirling. Now there's an ion cannon here. Ion cannons can instantaneously kill lots of small ships that are below their mark level. So mark level 5 or below it can shoot at. We can just go and destroy it using this, I believe. So I'll go and do that now. That's definitely Stirling, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to send my lovely Starfish cruiser into Stirling to do this. It's nice having this like single very powerful ship to go and do things like this. Just remove obstacles. He is absolutely fantastic. Look at him just chomping through that. And if they shoot him enough, he'll get a tentacle and hit them with that. Okay, that's now removed. How are we doing in Caerleon? We're doing absolutely fine. Let's move everyone up to Stirling.
Moving out.
So I'm just going to send these guys straight in. 2 will stay behind. 5 is also going to go straight in. Looks like Eglinton's fine. Ooh, there are some invisible enemies in here.
Roger that.
Okay, let's put some tachyons around to detect them. There they are. They're dealt with. Our forces will make a nice mess on Stirling. What's happening on Pickering? Wow! Okay, let's pause this. Unexpected push from the enemy on Pickering. This is the Hunter fleet. They've spotted a weakness and they're pushing through. Now we've still got our defences up and they will hold for a little bit, but not for very long. So I'm going to load up 6. And once he is loaded up, he's going to go to Pickering. This is all fine here. I'm now going to send Fleet 5 back to Drumbo because I don't need him to do this next stage. Fleet 1, which is my strongest fleet, is absolutely fine to do on its own. So 6 is going to come in here. Is it from Drumbo that 6 is going to arrive? Yes. So arrive from Drumbo and then unload. And 5 is going to fly in as well. Okay, where is our target? It is Perth.
Copy.
I think the best way here... Has Perth got anything dangerous on it? No, it's just the Coprocessor. Well, the best way to do this is literally just to gather everyone up. We're just going to fly straight in.
Bearings adjusted. Substantial enemy presence in our territory.
Right, let's pause it here. AI reserves incoming. So a deep strike, attacking the AI far away from any of our worlds. We've gone a little bit too far now, and it triggers an AI defensive response. They open lots of wormholes, and they send lots of troops in. If we move closer to our own territory, the response will retreat back through. If we continue to deep strike further, the response will only increase. This is to stop you from just going off away from your planets and doing all, just rampaging around way beyond your territory. So we don't want to do that, we just want to knock over the Coprocessor. You're going to see this deep strike will send a lot of stuff to reinforce this planet if we stay here, but we're not going to stay here. That Coprocessor is gone. So now I'm going to load the troops back into 1. In fact, I'm going to unload them so they can deal with these wardens.
Enemy launching major offensive.
How are we doing in Pickering? Well, our station's holding up still, and our snipers have now arrived and can start shooting up some of these annoying enemies. I think they've got a bunch of cloaked stuff. And zombies, yeah, they could definitely cause us some problems there. I'm going to pause it again for a second. So we've got 5 headed there. 2 can now retreat. I'll send them back to Drumbo.
Understood.
Unpause it, and then I think 1... I think I need to just load up 1 and send it back home now, and then we're going to go and do those other coprocessors. Because having this higher AOP is just bad news for us, really. So I'm going to send them back to Drumbo as well. But that's the 2 difficult coprocessors done. So I'm really looking forward to getting a net 60 point drop in the AOP. It's going to be really good for us. Why have they got so much firepower in Pickering? I really don't know what it is. I think it must be cloaked stuff that's generating these... Yeah, there's something cloaked that's generating shredders. So what I'm going to do is make a sentry. And I'm going to tell the sentry to just walk across the system looking for stuff. So Mr. Lasers is here and the Tortoid's here. So I'm not terribly worried about this stuff moving in. So you just fly around and see if you can detect anything. There we go. This is it. Okay, let's have a look at what we found here. So this is the Brutal Guardian that was generated. It's an Amalgam Guardian. Experimental Guardian prototype forged from the hulls of Dire, Stealth Plasma, Heavy Beam and Shredder Guardian, so it does everything. When it dies, it releases... it has a Stealth and a Plasma head and a Heavy Beam and a Shredder tail, so when it dies it releases lots of nasty stuff. So, yeah, horrible. That was caused by us aggravating the St. David's layout. We really do need to go and deal with that. And I intend to. But first, we've got our entire fleet firepower. This is why they had so much strength at Pickering. But we've got a whole massive fleet here to fight this thing, so I'm not terribly worried. And because this is on our planet, you know, we can get lots of repairs and we've got turrets helping us and stuff. We can really just hammer this thing. Look at the size of that ship. Absolutely gigantic compared to my biggest ships like this one here. Okay, that smashes, and then we get these brutal amalgam heads and tails. Looks like there's a force coming to Drumbo, and there's a cross-planetary assault that we're going to need to deal with as well. That's fine. Let's get the coprocessor before this goes off, so in the next 4 minutes we'll get the coprocessor. This wave we can just deal with. We've got a whole fleet here. Should be a nice easy one. Did you fail on that? Yeah, Fleet 4 got kicked off Harwich, that's fine. Move to Ashburn instead and secure that. But, yeah, we now just have to knock over the remaining coprocessors. There's one here, and there's one at Ilfracombe. So, an easy job as soon as we get our stronger fleets back. In fact, right now I'm going to... Well, as soon as this fight's over, I'm going to load up one. I can see our starfishes, they're absolutely mauling this brutal amalgam delta golem. Yeah, everything's hitting those. They're not going to be able to escape any of that stuff, that's good. And Dire Shredder Guardian, which gets shredded. Okay, we've got some stuff coming into Drumbo. I've already sent 5 over there.
Here, deal with these. We have plenty more.
I'm going to send one over as well. So Drumbo's getting a bit overwhelmed, but a lot of stuff's just arrived to help them. Should see that AI strength number decreasing pretty rapidly once everyone's here. Where's Mr. Lasers? Oh, there he is. I think we're repairing him. I think he may have got crippled fighting those big brutal golems. Ooh, lost our command station. Yeah, they had just enough to take out the command station. They're going to get destroyed on their way out, but they did have enough to take the command station, and that is going to trigger an Exo to attack us. Not great, not ideal. Right, I'm going to load up one, and we need to get after these coprocessors immediately before this CPA comes off. I want to get that done right now. I'm going to send the factory to repair Drumbo. And Fleet 4 is going to go and see if it can knock out this coprocessor while everyone else is arriving.
I'll see it done.
I could move the ship lines, but I'm not quite sure I see the point. They're just going to fly to Cushenden. Yeah, just take the fastest route there, please.
Commencing maneuver.
Send the battle stations out there as well. We need to get this done. Into Cushenden.
You had it plotted.
Orders.
Go knock that out for me.
Ships detected. IFF signals are friendly.
I got 1 and 3 coming over here. Oh, I didn't load up my ships onto 4, so they're being quite slow. That's okay. We'll be there very shortly. And then we probably need to deal with this lair as well, to be honest. Take it out, please. So Fleet 1 will be here soon. But for now, they're just going to start pecking away at that. This is a really weak fleet, Fleet 4. It's literally just parasites and some parasitic plate corvettes. It might be enough to kill this before 1 arrives, I'm actually not sure. Ooh, and they've sent some hunter fleet to come deal with me. Okay. Hunter fleet isn't usually defensive, but in this case, I guess it's a very good opportunity to attack my one of my vulnerable fleets. But we'll kill this hunter fleet because it's always good to kill some hunters. Now what's our plan? We need to go and take out... These are moving to Minster.
On our way.
They're going to keep working on that. In fact, I'm going to knock that out. Fleet 4 is going to go home. Back to Dunloy, let's say. Fleet 1 is going to load up and head to Harwich. Got 20 seconds. We don't have to do this at the same time, it's just that was my objective. 12 seconds. I don't think I'm going to make that, unfortunately. Yeah, I was a bit too slow. That's alright, it happens. Alright, let's pull these guys back. So we've now got 176 strength, not very much to worry about. This now hunting is. So we're going to fly Fleet 1 straight over to this, unload everyone, kill it, and then go home. The other thing is this St. David's lair. We do need to. I need to see whether I can hack that. I actually don't know. So I'm going to send Fleet 5 over here to Pickering. Actually, I'll send Fleet 5 straight to Mount Hill, because they're going to be pretty safe against whoever's attacking them. Move our snipers back. Alright, pause for a second. I just need to go and look at where 1's got to. Are you there? Nearly. Alright, I'm just going to unload here, and 1 is going to go after that, because some of them have got long range weapons, and some of them are faster than my flagship. We're provoking another lair. This is the Nockingham one that I do not want to set up, because I will then have 2 things I need to deal with, so I must make sure I don't do that. Hold on. Let's have a quick look. Oh, that's just that one, Wokingham. Okay. So flatten those. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Come on. Alright, Starfish has dealt with it. Gonna load up my guys. So, plus 20, minus 140, we're now at 94 overall. Pretty solid. And then 1 is going to get hell out of dodge. Go back to Dunloy for now. And we're going to prepare for our next big scrap. So I do want to go and check out this in St. David's and see if I can hack it. If not, I'm just going to have to beat it up and take the AIP loss. At least I get some science in exchange for that. It's not the worst thing in the world. Have we got any enemies? We've got some stuff in Pickering. Got some stuff in Drumbo, of course. That fight's just ongoing. A little bit more's coming on Drumbo, actually. I'm going to tell 1 to go to
We're on
Eglinton.
to it.
Ready to back us up. And 4 is going to go and just protect around Bala, I guess. Okay, we're still looking fine. Nothing too worrying. Sniper fleet, still dealing with that. Mr. Lasers is stacked up on St. David's. Should we go and have a look? We'll just poke our head in.
Human resistance cell retreating.
Mr. Lasers is going to poke his head into St. David's. Here he is. So, I'm going to pause it for a second and just check this sabotage. No, this is what I was hoping, was that I'd be able to sabotage this, but I think because it's activated, I'm just not allowed to anymore. Yeah, very unfortunate, so I'm going to have to destroy this, because it's going to be a real problem for us otherwise. If we destroy it, 15 AIP rise, okay. It's not great, it's not the worst thing in the world. We will get 500 science and 15 hacking points. I think we also get the hacking points for increasing the AIP. I think that's generally how that works. I'm not 100% sure of that though. We'll leave Mr. Lasers to his awful devices on this planet. He can just fly around causing some trouble for a minute.
Right.
Fleet number 1 is going to head all the way over here. I don't see any major threats anywhere else. You know, I'm keeping my people roughly positioned to help. I think this is the start of the cross-planet attack. It is, yeah. So we can see we're now killing the cross-planet attack. It's starting to turn up and we're shooting out. There'll be bits of it all over the place. We've got a lot of defences in place already, so... Mr. Lasers is getting a bit beaten up, but he is also fighting these guys fairly well. Gonna have to be careful with him though.
Yes, sir.
Fleet 1 should be coming along nicely. Right, his shields are down, but he's got a lot of hull strength. 5.14 million, and he can easily beat up these Guardians. So he'll just stay here fighting for now. And I'm going to tell Fleet 1 to get over here. Now, the lair in Cheltenham has been activated. Well, not. When it gets to 300 seconds past, it'll be activated. So I don't want to hang out here too much, so I'm going to retreat to Garstang. And I'm going to tell my... Oh, wait. Is it Garstang? No, Mount Hill. I don't want to start fighting another planet, so I'm going to go to Mount Hill instead. So let's back off for a second. And that will calm this down. But we still need to get in here before these... So there we go, that counter is now reset. And I'm going to send... Let's kill these off.
You can always count on us.
Hold on, make sure you kill all these before you leave. And we're going to stack up ready to go after that Brutal Guardian lair. Alright, number 1 load up, number 2 get in here and repair this spy frigate. Nowhere's looking that vulnerable. There's a few enemies turning up in Pickering. Nothing our defences at Pickering can't deal with, I think. I haven't got any tachyons at Pickering, which is silly to be honest, so I'm going to put some tachyons up. Oh, I do have a sentry frigate here somewhere. There he is. I'm just going to get rid of him. I'd rather have the tachyons. Alright, we're stacked up. We've got 500 odd seconds to deal with this. Number 2 is going to stay here. And 1 and 5 are going to roll into St. David's. That will immediately restart the count from Cheltenham. And you'll see that it retained how much it was at before. And we're going to see how quick we can knock this over. I think these don't have that much health. Yeah, they're not that bad. Their shields are quite strong, but their health is not very high, so they will go. As soon as that shield's gone, they'd be dead. There we go. Okay, let's bail back. Mount Hill, get out of here. So we don't want to be dealing with this Cheltenham one, and I really don't want to come up there again if I can help it. Gonna pause for a second. As I've just spotted, a fairly serious cross-planetary attack has arrived in Dunwich. So I'm going to send fleets 4 and 3 to deal with that. I think that will be enough. Dunwich itself is not the most heavily defended, but it's not like it's weak or anything. It's more just that they came from, you know, it's covering 2 places, and they've kind of come past it a little bit. They may get into Balabogi, so Balabogi's our capital, but it is very well defended against either of these. It should be absolutely fine. So I'm not too worried. Why are they not leaving? Okay, I'm going to get rid of them so they stop setting off that Cheltenham lair. That was just some brainless remains. Okay, load up and go home.
Understood.
Right, Dunwich is where we're worried about now. Seems fine. I'm not too worried about these knocking over the shields. The subverter turrets are really good here. They're getting us some zombies at the same time as destroying stuff. And there's a fight in Eglinton, but the Poor Patroller's turned up, so we're definitely going to win that one. Poor Patroller. They love to turn up when they're absolutely certain to win. They hate to risk their people, which is thematic because their ships are actually piloted by human beings. They're not drones. Whereas mine are all kind of piloted by AIs, I guess, like simple AIs. Ooh. We could lose our command station here. Yeah, it looks like it. Command station's going to go down. Okay. Another wave coming in on Eglinton. They're not very well defended, so I'm going to load up and deal with them.
Absolutely, sir.
I think one is pretty well loaded. I'm not worried about the capital here, but I am aware that in addition to the cross-planetary attack and waves and things, the enemy could send some more stuff, so yeah, I'm moving some things to Eglinton, that's fine. I think this is okay and our economy is okay, so let's pause for a second, and we'll work out what our next objective is. So we've got a bit more science, but it's not a huge amount more. We still have quite a lot of hack points, so I'd like to hack something. We could go and get Ultima Fusion Bombers, but they cost us AIP, or we get Armor Parasites, they're much cheaper in terms of AIP. We could hack there. We can also do a hack at... Ooh, Viral Shredders here at Wokingham. I think Wokingham is our objective, actually, although it's got a Brutal Guardian lair. If I click on Wokingham and check my hack options... No, you're not. It's very interesting. You're not allowed to hack Brutal Guardian lairs at all. They're pretty unpleasant, and you're not allowed to hack them to remove them. You just have to suffer the AIP. Okay, we want to take over another system because we need some more exploration. I could use a bunch of hacking points to do it. If you click on one of these, you can then hack to explore planet. But I want to hack more to find where the other AI homeworld is. Here's one of them, and our route to destroying that one is clearly from Minster. We would go Minster, Southwold, Madeley. We would go straight in like that. Interestingly, if we managed to destroy the other AI first and do this one second, the Madeley one, we could set up on Minster with extremely tough forces and really heavily reinforce it, and we could take the major data center there. Because we would have so much stuff permanently concentrated, ready to fight this war, that this would probably then be safe. So we could do that. But we do need to pick what we're going to take next. And we want to pick something that would allow us to deep strike further as well. So we want to pick something that's quite far away from the rest of our stuff. I'm tempted to take something that's got a good economy. We know that Caerleon is a step... Was it Caerleon or... I think it was Caerleon, not Perth, wasn't it? me check. Can I check which ones would count as deep striking? That's the question. Distant readiness. I think there is a way of seeing whether something would count as a deep strike or not. I think Perth counts as a deep strike, but Sterling doesn't. Sterling may be worth taking because it's got a Zenith power generator, which gives you a huge amount of power, but it's very vulnerable. It's much like the data centers. You only get the AOP increased by 10 when it goes off, but it's still vulnerable. I think I'll pause the video for a second while I have a think about this. Okay, had a little think about this, and I have decided that I'm actually going to take either Stonehouse over here, which has this fleet, which has a bunch of Mark 1 stuff in it. It's not super interesting. Or Claycross over here, which has an orbital ion cannon, which I may decide to hack and steal, but I'll probably just kill. And it has metabolizing gang saws, 108 of them, which would be fairly significant for us because they would come in at Mark 3 because we have the melee upgrades. So we could take that, Claycross. This has got 8 asteroid mining power plants. That's the economic factor by which it would be useful. This has got 8. And I could also go and take Reading. Reading has 8. The reason that I would want to take Reading is because it has a Spire Archive on it, so I could safely do the hack for the Spire Archive. The Spire Archive is a fairly expensive hack. I will show you. It is 300 seconds long, takes 60 hack points, so expensive, and you have to be very careful protecting it. If it goes wrong, if the hack is failed or cancelled, AIP goes up by 80. And they take it very seriously, this type of hack, so I would really want to build up defences around that hack before doing it. The other thing that is of interest there is that the AI homeworld tends to be near to the Spire Archive, which makes me think that the second AI homeworld is here at Eskra. If I take Reading, it will give me a staging ground to go and hit that AI homeworld. We already have a staging ground down here, kind of around Minster, to go and strike at this AI homeworld. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do, and hopefully that will avoid having to travel through this mess, which has got, you know, the Brutal Guardian layer, or here the Brutal Guardian layer. Would be completely avoiding having to do any of that mess. So I think for strategic reasons, I'm probably just going to go for Reading. I could go for Stonehouse, but I think it's going to be Reading. Let's say it's Reading, and we'll go in and begin work on that pretty much straight away. So I'm going to send 5 through to Portland. I don't think there was any more threatening stuff coming through. I'm going to send 1 to Portland and tell it to unload when it gets there. Am I worried about this force, Eglinton? Not very worried. A significant number of them are going to just get chopped up by our guns here, I think. Yeah, I think Eglinton's going to be under control, so that's fine. Limavadi's got a wave attacking, it looks like. Oh, this is Exogalactic Strike Force. Yeah, this is from one of our command centers being destroyed that this ended up being sent. They get a Diagravity Guardian straight through, but he's going to get chopped up by those turrets, I think. He's not going to last that long. This has got a military command station on it, so everything here gets a fairly significant boost. Limavadi's a very tough one for the AI to take off me. Meanwhile, in Portland, I'm going to set my guys to free roam because they have overwhelming forces here. This is interesting. So this is the Praetorian Guard, and the fact that the Praetorian Guard is here in Portland really does tell me that I'm on the approach to the AI homeworld. The Praetorian Guard are really nasty. You can see they're all Mark 5s. So they're going to give me quite a fight there. I'm going to have to move my combat factory into Fleetwood so that I get reinforcements actively, because you can see this fleet is slowly taking casualties. And I'll tell Mr. Lasers to get out there and do some damage. He's actually great against these Praetorian Guard strike craft because his beams can just cut through large numbers of strike craft really, really nicely. Particularly because they're all lining up for me. I appreciate that. That means his beams do extra damage because they're just lined up. So this is turning into a big fight because of the Praetorian Guards, but I'm still feeling pretty confident. And I'm going to tell the Combat Factory to get in here to do repairs. This Dire Guardian, I will tell them to prioritise. Leave one, get rid of him. Done. And you can see now that we are starting to contain this and overwhelm them. We're getting reinforcements now from our factory, of course. And we're building up zombies as well because we've got some parasitic damage coming out. Got Mr. Lasers. Look at him just passing by, strafing them with those. He's so cool. Okay, the Praetorian push in Portland is destroyed, and we have crucially killed a bunch of the Praetorian Guard, which is they're going to take a little while to build them back up again. So that's actually kind of significant for helping us push through and get a hold of Reading at the very least. But I want to make sure we kill everything here because there's a counterattack, so we need to kill all the guard posts. So I'll just grab half of these, tell them to go and kill these guard posts. Gonna move up. I'll move the combat factory up as well. That cruiser's really good. You can't see like that much of what he's doing because he's just in with everything else, but sometimes he just arrives somewhere and just you can see the damage that they're taking just goes way up. He's to obliterate something. Mr. Laser's continuing to laser. He's really more of a tank who's good against lots of small strikecraft. He's, as we've said before, he's not really good against individual targets, and his overall damage output's not that amazing. But he is very tanky. Okay, everyone move up. We've got plenty of energy at the moment, so I might actually... Have I got any of my fleets that are turned off currently? In my main fleet, is there anything I'm not building? No. No defenders? No. No, I'm building everything I can, that's fine. Okay, Reading. Anything to be worried about in Reading? Yes, there is a Chain Lightning Eye, so I don't want to turn the Chain Lightning Eye on. The Chain Lightning Eye has a lot of guard posts, tough guard posts that we would need to knock out in order to take it out. An alternative would be to go in there and hack it, and I think that is what I will do. So I'm going to send Mr. Lasers into Reading. Here he is. So that is not enough strength to activate the eye. Taking the eye out takes 18, or I could go and knock out all the guard posts. If I send in things that are specialists at destroying guard posts, let's grab these bombers. And these bombers.
Always count on us.
I think if I send in all these bombers, and the raid frigates into Reading, so that's another 27 strength. So not our full fleet, just enough. And I'm just going to tell them to fly along and kill these guard posts. See, as we destroy things, it takes less to set the AI off. If we ever have more strength than they do, the eye will be set off and it will cause us all kinds of problems. So we have to be kind of clever about what we're destroying here. Plus, as we make zombies, our strength is going to go up. So we're getting a little bit high. If we have too much strength, we can delete some stuff, or make some stuff retreat at least. How many do we need to kill? We need to kill... God, it's got so many. It needs at least 3, so we need to get them down to 2. This is quite a task, to be honest. And the more that we're fighting these guard posts... Okay, I'm going to take Mr. Lasers out of there to make sure our strength stays really low. So hit that guard post, hit that guard post, hit that guard post. outpost. So at some point our force is just going to get killed here, but that's fine. Everywhere else, everything is going okay. Our economy's not that great, but that's partly because we're losing all these troops and then rebuilding them here.
Time for a regularly scheduled structural integrity test.
So I'm going to grab
Bringing squads into line.
all of these bombers and send them into Reading. So this is going to be, while these are distracting, these guys are going after this one. Off we go. How many guard posts are left? We've still got 5? Good lord.
Allied resistance ships joining the fight.
We don't have the strongest forces here, do we? Okay, we've got some more stuff we can send into Reading. And we've got these raid frigates. Raid frigates are really good, they're only at level 1. I'm kind of tempted to mark them up if I can, because they will probably make a significant difference. Okay, can you go and knock those over successfully? I think that you can. Go on. If we keep losing stuff here, we will start counterattack, of course. This is getting ridiculous.
Excellent maneuver.
Got any raid frigates? No. Alright, in you go.
10-4.
I'm gonna send Mr. Lasers in there to help. Okay guys, I'm gonna pause for a second. It only has 2. Okay, this is now vulnerable. So, we can send our forces just to kill the eye. Are they gonna get there? I think we've got enough bombers that we can get this. I don't know for sure. Oh, pause. Now look, we're so close on Reading to them having less power than us, at which point the eye will turn on, and it will cause us all kinds of problems. So I'm gonna delete some of these. 45. Okay. Could you stop firing your lasers, Mr. Lasers, and leave, so that we don't accidentally... Okay, a big enemy force has just arrived in Reading, so we're fine. You can all start firing again. This is fine.
Starting our bombing run.
Oh, he got activated. No, that's why they got a big enemy force. We just went over the thresholds. Ah, well. Yeah, so until he stops being alerted, there's not much we can do here. Right. Wow! I did not see this coming. Attack in Barla. This is really serious, actually. I did not... This is the AI being clever. They've sent round their hunter fleet while I was busy on the other side of the galaxy to a place where I'm vulnerable. And this is the place that has the lost energy reactor. I really don't want to lose another one of those. So,
That seems wise.
fleets 4 and 3. I'm going to head over there. And I'm going to see what technology I can do to keep myself alive here. Barla Command Station is a level 2 logistical, but the system itself is only at level 1. If I want to upgrade all the turrets and force fields, I could upgrade the system itself, which I think is reasonable given the circumstances. So we're going to look at Barla Command Station. Here it is. And we're going to spend 1,500 science to do a direct upgrade. So this goes up to a level 3, these all go up a level, the turrets all go up a level. This is going to give us a more chance of keeping ourselves alive here. 4 and 3 are going to come and arrive here. And 6 is going to load up and head over here as quick as they can. I think that's fine. And there's really nothing else that we can get there in time. The other thing that we could do is we could move some ship lines over from 1 into 4 so that 4 will start building them. I think I'm going to have to do that. So if we go to our fleet, we select Home Defenders, multi-swap, and we're going to grab some ships from consumer fleet. So we're going to grab, I'll have some vicious vampires, and I'll have some absorbers. You can see their rough strength estimates there. I think I will also take parasitic bombers. Is that true? No, we'll keep all the bombers together. So I'll take those, and I'll take the warbird frigates because they can paralyze things from the support fleet. So I'm going to steal all of those. This will cause them all to blow up where they are. So we will lose a bunch of them there. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. We're currently not really doing anything with this fleet. They're just stacked up there. So, and we will see. Let's unpause and see what Fleet 4 does. So Fleet 4 should immediately start building. Yeah, here we go. You can see that they're building all these melee ships, so they'll come and help us here. So this is our priority now, is defending this system. You can see we've at least got quite a few more forces here to Bala. You will see our strength will start to rocket up. And we've got a counter-attack we need to deal with already, but our economy's all messed up, so we're just going to focus on this for now, and over on Portland, we'll just have our guys hang out for now, you know. Just hang out and defend themselves. Okay, Bala, how are you holding up? Some of the tractors are down. Fleet 4 is still moving more stuff in, but our economy is now kind of collapsed, so we're not going to be getting too many more reinforcements, basically. Could you stop doing that? Move these guys back. What's this that's spearheading their attack? The nuclear fillet guardian, nasty. You can see our turrets are in range here. Our turrets are really strong for their cost, so they're actually going to be doing a lot of damage to everything they can reach. And the tractor beams are doing a decent job holding the enemy. There's still a lot coming, so we've now got Fleet 6 has now turned up. But the other AI has also sent its hunter fleet. They've seen that there's definitely a weakness in my armor here that they can exploit. So they're sending absolutely everything they've got.
Acknowledged.
Interesting. Let's move Fleet 6 over here. And I hope we're not in trouble anywhere else. Let's have a quick look at Pickering. It's not going to be good if Pickering's command centre goes down, but it's not in too bad shape. Let's go back to Bala. Given that this fight is now really bogged down, I might have to... If I load all my guys onto fleet number 1, my main fleet, how fast could they get there? If I pause this, how fast could you get to Bala? You could travel through very hostile territory to get there quicker, but I don't want you to do that. Go to Limvady and then go to Bala. Okay, so we're going to see if one can get there in time to help. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're at risk of losing this. Yeah, we've let them do the counter-attack, but it's not that serious at Reading, that's okay. It's more important to focus on this. A lot of casualties for the AI, but you can see their strength is ticking down quite fast. They're now getting into position to actually start hitting my command station, and they're starting to overwhelm the turrets. But they are losing strength quite quickly on Bala. I think I made the right decision in sending Fleet 1 home here. They may get here in time to make a huge difference, to stop us from losing our power station. I wish the human resistance would turn up to help. Paw Patrol could really be useful right now. But I guess because we're at a disadvantage, they don't want to risk it. Alright, let's pause this and see where 1 is. Halfway. Journey continues, halfway there. There's nothing we can do in terms of technology, I think, to help us out here. No, nothing really. I mean, we could move our science around. We could retrieve spent science and move it around to help ourselves, but I don't really want to mess around with that, you know. The Tortoid actually been doing a lot of damage. I can tell the attrition because almost everything in the system is wounded by this Tortoid being here. This kind of fight's great, like a long fight with lots of small enemies. He's really good at doing a lot of damage. Okay, the strength is dropping. Shields are still holding. How close is Fleet 1 now? Pretty close. Yeah, I think we're going to see that that was the right decision. As soon as he gets here, he's going to unload. Are they trying to move away? No. The shields are getting low. Go on, Fleet 1, where are you? A lot of my turrets just got dropped. The shields are really starting to go now. There's a big group of enemy zombies. That are, well, here's one. Here's one. Is he in time? It's really close. Come on, start firing. Get these shields up. So one has now arrived and is sweeping a lot of the enemy away. We've got the enemy outnumbered, outstrengthened at Bala. It's just a matter of whether our shields will stay up and protect this energy reactor. It looks like they're okay. The main enemy force is kind of blocked here by Fleet 1. Fleet 6 is drawing fire down there. Wow, what a mess. If I hadn't sent one, I for sure would have lost that reactor. And it looks like the enemy is now retreating. Yeah, enemy's retreating. We've broken the back of their attack. Lots of their hunter fleet is dead, so... a bit of a hair-raising moment, but... we did okay. And what a light show we got out of it. Okay. Enemy fleet going to Eglinton. What do we got? What do we got over at Eglinton? Gonna move my forces back here. Okay, we're good everywhere. We need our economy to recover from this. We get a big wave of player zombies from having beat them up here, so they're gonna cause some trouble. I didn't even notice, but there's actually a Spire archive on Monmouth as well that we could hack. Because again, it's close to the enemy homeworld. But I'd rather go and do the other one. Wow, so our economy is lagging quite a long way behind because of the damage to all our turrets having to be rebuilt. You know, rebuilding all those turrets. Let's deal with this. I want some of my guys back here that I took out of this and put into the home defenders. Give me back my vicious vampires. I'm going to say they can keep the absorbers. They can keep the warbirds for now. But I'm going to have the vampires back into my main fleet. Yep, there we go. It's the vampires switch fleet. Alright, fleet 1. Just gonna head back to Drumbo. The Tortoid, I guess, will stay here to defend this system for now and be another defensive force.
Hello again.
What's the time? Let's have a quick look. We are at about
A
the
human-resistant
1 hour
cell has
15
engaged
mark.
the
I want to
AI.
get one thing done before I pack up this video. Ooh, you know what? I really could use some more turrets. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna, for the now, I'm gonna put that on pause. Going for Reading, that's definitely the plan. Going for Reading's put on pause. I'm gonna go and sweep Murdoch system. And oh, there's Paw Patrol. Look, they saw the opportunity for an easy win. And in they go. Well done, guys.
Strike successful. They are headed home.
I appreciate their help, but they could be a lot more helpful. I'll tell you that much. Dark Mirrors are graphic pods, assault frigates at Blaney. Am I going to be... How many... Only 6 asteroids? Pfft, no thank you. I mean...
Understood.
To a certain extent that's tempting, but no. Okay, we're going to unload here. And then I want to get rid of that... Get these vampires and send them to Murdoch. I believe they've got a mass driver, and so I don't really. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to mess with the mass driver. I'm not taking this system over, so I'm not going to hack it or anything, and I don't want my capital ships to get chewed up for it, so I'm just going to send the vampires to go and chomp on it. Pretty straightforward. Okay, that's dealt with, I think. Go on, finish it off. There we go.
Always
Moving
count on
out.
us.
Enemy launching major offensive.
Yes, sir.
Now that I've taken the warbird frigates away from these guys, I don't think the combat fleet's got anything to protect themselves with, so... Instead, send my guys back here. What's going on over here? Oh, they're killing a guardian. Okay. This is a weird layout. They've just got their guard post in one little corner. That's very strange. Gonna send Mr. Lasers over here as well. And I think everywhere else is looking good, but because our economy is still trashed, I'm not going to be too aggressive. Basically, my plan is just keep my combat factory here and rebuild. Kill everything here, and then hack the turret schematic server. Because we just need more turrets. More defenses is what we need right now. I really dislike these. These are vanguards, and if they haven't been in the system for very long, they get really high defense. So when they go through a wormhole, they're really high defense, and when they are spawned out of these guard posts, they have really high defense. So they can really distract your fleet because it takes so long to kill them. Oh well. The economy's still messed up. What's happening in Drumbo? Interesting. Look at that. And the Hunter fleet's starting to turn up. In Drumbo. So I'm going to send Mr. Lasers over to Drumbo. See if he can't put a stop to this little raid they're doing here. Because this could be quite an annoyance. Mr. Lasers, would you like to come and help? Ooh. Looks like we might be about to lose a command station. Unless Mr. Lasers gets in here immediately. No, it's just going to be too slow. Blam, Drumbo's gone. Lost Drumbo a couple of times to kind of stupid stuff, you know. Oh, did we lose our... Yeah, we did. Lost our combat factory. Right, forget about Drumbo. This is because our economy's not. You know, this is what happens if your economy's not. See, our fleet is really depleted. I'm going to pull my fleet back to Blaney, and I'm going to send the combat factory in there. Try and build them up a bit. I don't think this wave is not capable of getting through this planet as well. And Mr. Lasers is going to give them a taste of the old laser pistons. But what a mess, though. The economy is starting to recover because we've rebuilt many of our defences at Dunloy. Oh, they've sent another probe. Oh, it's the Exogalactic. Yeah, this was triggered by us losing a command station. So this is always a drainer in your economy and a waste of your time. When you lose command stations, not only do you get the economic hit of having lost a system, but you also have the problem of get in there and make sure they don't break through. Yeah, they're breaking through with a Gravity Guardian, but he's gonna get picked off. Kind of more worried about this
Urgent into our territory.
counterattack from Murdoch now. We're not really in very good shape to deal with this. Alright. Pickering's dealt with.
Yes, of course.
Nav console updated. Major
So we're going to
enemy
head
incursion into
back
our
in.
territory.
The reason I'm going in there is to try and stall out the counterattack. To stall the counterattack, you just need to have half of the strength that they have. Wow, they've just sent a lot of stuff to Murdoch. Good lord. So maybe this isn't a good plan. Alright, let's pull back to Blaney and rethink this a bit. Again, this is because our economy is beaten up. Our fleet is just not really in great shape, you know. We have stalled the counterattack on Murdoch for now. Oh, because they're leaving. Okay. Alright, let's head back in. Make sure we stall that out. Ah, they've reached our homeworld. Yeah, good luck, guys. Good luck with this. I don't think so. Okay, the Warden fleet is reacting again. Yeah, I just keep sending them back in and they're not. Fleet 1 is not exactly getting the chance
You can always count on us.
to rebuild. Alright, we've got Drumbo going back up again, which is gonna, you know, improve our economy significantly. And I've got Mr. Lasers, who is going to travel to Murdoch. A significant amount of my economy is just being this factory, like reinforcing this fleet, and I think we can keep this fleet above 30%. Let's have a look. But it's important we get Mr. Lasers in here because he can absolutely devastate this. What are we looking at? 27. We're starting to lose. We need Mr. Lasers. Get in here, guy. I think he's not here yet. Okay, we're gonna have to bail. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Get in here. Wow. You can see we're trying to rebuild our fleet. Where is Mr. Lasers? He is so slow to move between systems. He really is. That is the big problem with that ship. Okay. Counterattack from Murdoch is building up again. We're slowly recovering, 23%. It's not great. And they've set such a big chunk of their Warden fleet here too. Right, first things first, Mr. Lasers can go straight in and start savaging them. check this out. He's going to draw them away from the wormhole. They just don't want to fight him, basically, because of the damage he can do to such big groups of them. This is his perfect enemy. Big warden fleet, lots of small ships spread out that he can just cast his lasers through. Right, 1 and 2, move in. Here we go. Now this might spur another counter-attack by the warden, but now that I've got missile lasers here as well, I'm not feeling too worried about it. Okay. How are we for time? Okay, I think we've got time to do this, so as soon as I start to clear this, I'm going to throw up a hack. Eglinton, you alright? Yeah, you should be fine. I'm going to have to leave you to it. Okay, I want to steal turret line for all. It's expensive. It is expensive, but we're going to do it. Because I want to get this death grip turret, which combines a tractor beam with some nasty weapons as well. Short range weapons that hit things that have already been tracted. So very strong turret. I like it very much. There we go. We're starting to hack. I think the turret schematic. So the enemy will start coming out there.
Ships detected. IFF signals are friendly.
Oh, nice. Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol has turned up to make sure we win on Pickering. Which is going to reduce the amount of stuff that runs into Drumbo and causes us trouble. So actually very useful, thanks guys. How are we looking on Drumbo? Yeah, we're fine. We finished our hack. You know, not that many enemies in total, but it sets off another Exo Strike. And we're going to want to go to wherever's vulnerable, which I think, you know, Bala has historically been something we really want to protect, and we're going to put up those death grip turrets. So I'm going to put them with the rest of my tractors. I think they have just the same range as the rest of the tractors.
I'll find a way, sir.
There we go. So a new wave of death grip turrets. Again, quite expensive on the economy to build all these turrets, but we'll be okay. And I'm probably going to leave this game here, or this video, and next time we will be, if I pause this for a second, we will be going after Reading, and then we'll be taking out one of the AI homeworlds. I've been playing a lot more slowly than I usually do, and, you know, taking a lot longer of the game, but I'm hoping it's interesting, kind of for introductory purposes. I'm hoping I'm, you know, it's fairly entertaining to watch, that's the hope. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, or if you'd like me to do anything different, or any feedback really, and I hope you had a nice time watching it. Bye for now.